Okay, bottom of the deck, the Queen of Pentacles. You, hardworking, consistent, motivated. You know what the word I always think about when I think of Tauruses, when I think of you, is urgency. You always have this sense of urgency, right? You get a task, you get a directive at work, and you do it. You don't delay. You never procrastinate. You really don't procrastinate. And I wish I didn't procrastinate. I wish I didn't procrastinate, because you guys, I learned so much. I worked for almost a year with a Taurus, and she was kind of my mentor. And I was just always blown away at, like, if we had to do a report that was due on Friday, you know, on Monday morning she was doing it, and all worried about the data that was going to go in there. And I was like, chill out. We can do it on Thursday, or we can do it Friday morning, or I can come in early on Friday, or I can stay late on Friday and do it. Like, what a different mentality. And I really, really looked at her and was like, okay, you're a Taurus. And I got her chart. Of course, I wanted to see what her rising sign was and all about her chart. But it just always amazed me, and I was always very impressed with her ability to not get burned out and just do what needed to be done. All right? That's what this Queen of Pentacles is. This is you being consistent, having a sense of urgency about doing what needs to get done for your life so you can be prepared for what's next. This is a card of preparedness. This is a card of clearing your plate so more stuff can be put on. Right? And through that, she builds wealth. She builds depth. She builds stability. And then she can step back and be proud of who she is and what she's built. So then she can offer and give and be a mentor, really. Okay? Now, again, back to the word of, giving, not leaving a situation. She builds and builds and builds and builds and builds. So there can be not something that's only emotional, but something that's actually tangible too. And then she can give. This is a card of reciprocity, but this is also a card of generosity. And sometimes in life and love, we get so caught up in what we get, or there's expectations. Well, I gave you my time. I gave you this, so I deserve that, right? But she doesn't think that way. She just gives and does and does and does and does and does. But she's also nobody's fool. Don't get me wrong there. She's not like just giving love everywhere. And it's okay if you treat me like crap. And it's okay if I'm naively supporting you. There's none of that going on, right? This is you're a very grounded energy, Taurus. But there's generosity. Right? It's not all about emotions all the time. Staying, going, leaving. It's not only about emotions. It's like, what are you offering in terms of growth and development? What are you offering in terms of foundation and stability? What are you offering? Okay. You're not seeking anything. Okay. There's an air of extreme competence here. There's an air of, I have done everything that I needed. And you have. You 100% have. I've done everything that I could do. I'm all caught up on all my tasks. Nobody needs anything from me right now. I'm set. Okay. There's more coming. There's always more coming. But I'm just going to wait for it to come. And ultimately, I will get the accolades, the recognition that I deserve. Ultimately, I'll get the bigger paychecks, right? Or the bonuses or the promotion, because I know I'm doing everything I need to do. I'm being a good employee. I'm being a good mentor. I'm being a good partner. I'm being a good mother, a good father, a good child, a good boyfriend, girlfriend. I'm doing what I need to do because I am loyal to myself and I have integrity to those around me and myself. Okay, that's you in a nutshell. And it's an awesome one. That is awesome. I love all those things I just said. Okay, so then we have this King of Pentacles, and we'll talk about this in the extended because he is reversed. So, are you everywhere you wanted to be in your life at this point? Okay. That's why you always have this sense of urgency, because you want to be prepared, because when the time comes for you to actually sit back and say, yeah, I made it, right? I have this much money in my bank account. I have this title at work. I have the ear of this person. This very important person listens to me and listens to my advice. I'm teaching this person well. My partner really appreciates all that I do. Whatever that place is for you. You're not 100% there yet, but you know you're working towards it. Okay, you know there's more to come before you can be there. So I wish this card were upright for you. I really do, but it's not right now. But keep going. And frankly, you've been through a lot. You really have been through a lot emotionally. And so just keep going. We'll pull clarifiers on this. We definitely will. But you've done all the right actions. There's no place for regret right now in your life. You've done everything right. You're doing everything right. And that's a statement I can't say to many people, because many people would be like, yeah, I am. Yeah, of course I'm doing everything right. I know it all. But you're not like that. You have humility, and you'll be like, okay, thank you. You know, I may have some shame and guilt sometimes because I should have done this or I should have done that, and I feel bad about this, but I really, Tauruses, need you to know that you have been doing things right. And people see it. And they appreciate it. So don't ever get down on yourself, because you've been going through a lot with family, love, friends, work. There's a lot that's been put on your plate. You've handled it well. And personally, you've gone through a lot too. So that takes a toll. But don't ever feel guilty that you didn't do more. You see what I'm saying? And here come the offers. Knight of Cups. Somebody new could be coming into your life. Very serious offers here. Offers of love. There's a lot of emotion involved in this offer. This is well thought out. Not only is he a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, he's offering all his emotions to you, his or her, and there's a whole river in front of him. Like, there's a lot of emotions here. Okay, maybe too much, but a lot of emotions. And the Seven of Pentacles reversed. When this card is reversed, it does. Now, this is the significator card. So this is talking about all the stuff we said up here, over here, and the offer. Okay, Seven of Pentacles. You're not tired. That's the thing with you. You have tenacity, consistency, urgency, always. Frankly, it blows my mind, because I get tired very quickly. You just keep going. You're like the Energizer Bunny who's going in the right direction. So here it is, right? It's definitely being noticed by somebody. And your back is turned towards it, so you don't see you don't appreciate all that you've done. Here, he's looking at all these actions, and here you're saying, right, I haven't done enough. I should have done more. I shoulda, woulda, coulda. I feel guilty for this. I feel guilty for that. That's what he's saying here. That's why he's not upright. But this person's like, they're amazing. I love all that they are. I love all that they do. They do things the right way. They don't take shortcuts. They're honest with themselves. They're full of integrity. They're full of loyalty. They're full of honesty and stability. All right. They like nice things. They like to feel comfortable. They want everybody around them to be comfortable. This person appreciates all the things in yourself that you need to appreciate in yourself. Okay, let's move on. Center of the reading, Two of Swords. Okay, there's a decision that has to be made. Okay. And it's really kind of between taking the traditional road or seeking a higher level counsel, spiritual leader, counselor, lawyer, like seeking higher level counsel from a higher level wisdom. Okay, which could be why you're watching this reading, really. You're seeking a little bit more depth in your way of thinking. And you see the stars here and the sun. All these symbols have to do with kind of pulling in all the energy around everything. Okay? All the energy, everything, all the keys, all the, planetary alignments, all the political, all the answers. Okay? You're seeking a higher level understanding of why you've been going through these things, why you've been noticed so significantly, why you have been feeling like there's nothing to celebrate. You're seeking answers. And here with this Two of Swords, you have to make a decision, okay, where you're going to seek these answers. You have to make a decision of why you feel like nothing is to be celebrated, why you feel you're not to be celebrated, because actually, in fact, you very much are. Okay? Tower moment reverse, and maybe part of this advice is for them to show you that the tower is not falling down. Again, I think you're very tired and you have been through a lot, but here, okay? It's not all falling down. We're going to clarify this a lot in the extended. Here you are, okay, protecting your interests, protecting your money, withholding your time, withholding your energy. Now, Tauruses, you can be very, very social. You're very fun and polite and very funny. You're very personable. You also like your private time. You really like your private space. So you probably don't invite people over all the time. Like someone has to be very close to you before you'll let them really into your life. So this is you kind of withholding yourself from the world. However, barriers are down. Now you could be dealing with a fire sign. You could be dealing with a fire sign and their barriers are down. But if that's not the case, this person may really cause you to open up and cause your barriers to come down. Okay? This has nothing to do with anything in the past. This is all something new. So you're kind of letting go of maybe hope of something or nostalgia, looking back at childhood. You're not really concerning yourself with that right now. Or maybe you are and it's getting to you and it's causing you to have a little bit of a lack of confidence here. And I'm kind of sensing that through this reading. Like you need to be more proud of yourself than you are. Really give yourself some credit, Tauruses. You are amazing. All right. Okay. I'm going to pull a lot of clarifiers. We're going to start here in the extended and pull 2 or 3 clarifiers for this whole energy. And then we pull on each card. We pull 2 on these significators too. But first I'm going to pull a oracle card. So Spirit and Universe. What is the highest level, most important message for Tauruses? The Pook. Okay, let's see. Let's read this. Pretty colors in that card, huh? Looks a little creepy, but these have good messages. Don't get worried. All right. The Pook. Keywords: shape changer, good in bad, bad in good, paradox, and resolution. Very interesting. It is time for the resolution of seeming contradictions and paradoxes in the situation. Someone or some part of the situation is cloaked in confusion, and our muddled thoughts must be stripped away, revealing truth. We just need to think about it. The information we needed is now available to us, and as soon as we have that burst of insight and get it, it's time for us to make changes based on our newly clear understanding. Alternatively, it may be time for us to make a reality check on the good, bad labels we put on things. This has to do with self-judgment, judgment of others. Make a list of the good, possibly even surprising things about this situation, and another list about the bad ones. If you are not in the habit of seeing the good in the bad and the bad in the good, having preferred a black and white world rather than one with colors, you may need some help in learning to do this. So this has to do with, again, when I was talking about this card here, I don't think sometimes you give yourself enough credit. And, when life is kind of throwing you for a loop and lots of stuff's happening and you kind of feel guilty about things, really, you need to give yourself enough credit and really start seeing all that you are and how much you offer to those around you. Because you really, really do, Tauruses. You're kind of like the glue that holds the group together, right? There's always like the fun person. There's always the crazy person, the psycho person, right? Or the one that makes the bad decisions. But you're kind of like the constant, consistent, you're the glue of the group. So give yourself a lot of credit for that. And so much more too, not only that. Okay, let's get into the extended. That link is below. And let's talk about this in a lot more depth, because the more I went through this reading, the more I realized that this, a lot of this has to do with self-perception, perception of self, which is why this is a very important card and why you're kind of afraid to look at it. Okay, so this could get pretty deep.